G'day, mate. Welcome back to Factorio with me, Jetty. We're back in our definitive guide to Factorio. In the last episode, we got nuclear up and running. We went nuclear. So, this episode, I want to do 4 things. I want to do a couple of things. One is our plastic belt is very sad. So I want to investigate that. At the same time, our base is definitely big enough that we have plenty of oil in the pipes. So it probably means we've outgrown this oil build. So I want to upgrade this oil build to the ultimate oil build, being the Jetty's Big Book of Oil. We want to go to the ultimate oil build and upgrade that. At the same time, because our plastic is it also means our red circuits are so our red circuits are going into making more science, obviously making blue circuits. They're also coming down here and going into our workshop ever so slowly, and they're just being decimated, honestly. They're going into blue splitters, they're going into hang on, I'll scroll down. We're going to roboports, which looks like we're maxed out. They're also coming down here and they're going to beacons. Each beacon needs 20 red circuits. The last thing they're going into is our nuclear reactors. Each nuclear reactor needs like 500 red circuits. So we're just chewing through them. At the same time, I need to fix a couple of mistakes that we made in the previous episodes that Editor Jetty has left me kind notes on the monitor for. They're kind this time because he's slightly passive-aggressive and he has left me enough notes on the screen before that I only had this much viewing area. But, you know, with all that said, let's run the intro and we'll get in and then we'll get on with it. So, with that out of the way, the first thing I will actually mention is we're in a whole new recording setup. Microphone's been adjusted, everything else, so volume levels, like, comment, please. Okay, a little bit too quiet, a little bit too loud. It should be quieter. It should pick up less background noise. Basically, I went through and rearranged everything, so it should be good. It should be better. We did do a live stream over on Twitch, link up the top right-hand corner if you want to catch those live, where everything was tested, and it turns out I'd taken too much off the mic, so it should be okay. But, you know, this is the first recording going up to YouTube, which goes through a slightly different process to watch the Twitch streams do. So we'll see. Anyway, with that said, first thing I need to do is I boo-booed this pipe. This pipe is hooked into the other water, which is not the intention. It's meant to... Oh, you've got steam right there. Okay, fine, we'll use an underground to go over that. So that hooks up that water pipe. This is going to start kicking in. It's going to bring the temperature of all these heat pipes down to 500 degrees because we're not adding more heat. And at 500 degrees, they stop producing steam. So at the moment, we're running like 1.25 nuclear reactors. This one's still being built. It will take some time to get built because heat exchangers use a few materials. Next thing I need to do is something else I noticed when we kicked these on. For some reason, these are not capped. They really should be. I don't know why, because they're capped in the blueprints. I'm just going to imagine something went boo-boo. Something went boo-boo-boo-boo. So we fixed that problem as well. Next thing I want to do is I want to go look at oil. Because when that kicks in, it definitely, depending on how your buffers are set, normally empties this tank, which it has done. So it's emptied out all the lubricant we had in the base, which means this pump is turned off because it's got less than 20,000 lubricant in it, which means we're actually backed up on heavy oil. Because we're backed up on heavy oil, we can't get heavy oil out of the refineries. Half the refineries are not working. So we need to build an overflow. That's the very first thing we're going to do, and I'm going to show you and explain how. So first thing we want to do is I want to put a pump on here. I want to tap in, well, I have two options. I could obviously change this to less than 20,000 lubricant and everything would run fine. So if we just do it starts pumping straight away, okay? But I don't want to do that. The other thing I could do is I could wire it into the heavy oil tank and I say, hey, if you've got more than 20,000 heavy oil, run the pump, which is one thing that a lot of people have suggested when I actually did the video and I published the blueprints. Again, entirely up to you. Some people want to do that. I prefer to make sure I have a lot of lubricant to start with, because generally you don't get in this situation. It's just that those chests were uncapped and bad things happen. So what I want to do is I want to build an overflow. So first thing we're going to do is going to move that power pole out of the way, that power pole out of the way, to give myself a little bit of breathing room. Next thing I want to do is I want to put a pump in here. And I want to take my pump and take my wire. Wire. Why can I never find the wire? Because I don't have any. Hook the wire into that pump, into that tank. And I want to say, hey, if the heavy oil is greater than 20,000, okay, I want this pump to turn on. As you can see, it's already got a green light. It's raring to go. So then I want to run my heavy oil, and I'd like to join it into this T intersection. The problem is, we can see right there that Factorio is telling me I cannot connect systems with different fluids, because if I put one here, we'd end up with a cross intersection, you know, like so, and we'd have heavy oil mixing with petroleum gas, which, like, in theory, you just siphon the petroleum gas that floats over the heavy oil off the top and everything will be fine. Okay, fine. What we're going to do is we're going to move that down a tile, move that down a tile, move those two over there, and we're good to go. So I can hook that in, and that's going to do our overflow. So we're going to pump this tank down to 20,000 fluid, which will then, that overflow will stop running, which means we can still have this one control our lubricant. Once we get over 20,000 lubricant, this one will kick in at full speed, and we should be able to empty this tank in a hurry. But next thing we're going to do is we're going to take out our oil build. We're going to line it up beautifully, even though we have so many little red marks, because JD altered the blueprint or altered the construction area many times. And I'm going to assume if you've used my oil blueprint, you've probably done the same. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to roll our mouse button until we get to the ultimate oil build, and I'm going to stamp that down. And then I'm going to work out where all my mistakes are. So first thing first, we can obviously see that that power pole needs to go out of the way. I want to put one of those there instead. I can see that I have extended the pipes out, but obviously there was a small boo-boo because there's I built pipes where there was not meant to be pipes. So we've done that. We've come down here and we can see again that there's a water pipe that stops here, which means a couple of things. So as you can see, we have a ghost pipe to ground there, which means this pipe to ground, which was connecting to that pipe to ground, no longer talk to one another because there's this ghost in the middle. So I need to remove that, and now they magically connect. Same applies to the water one. It's not connected. Remove that, magically they connect. Obviously, there was probably a power pole here that I put an oil refinery on top of, so that doesn't exist anymore. Need to replace that. Same goes with there. Need to put a power pole there. All these top lines should be powered up if I made all of these power poles medium power poles. I use small power poles. So I need to now change all these power poles over to mediums so they power up the beacons. We did cover the beacons previously. The beacons share whatever modules they have in them. Their effect range with anything inside their little yellow square. In this case, they're all speeds. So they're going to make our whole oil refinery run faster, much faster. We can see that there's not meant to be a power pole there. We can see you have a strip of blue belt that obviously we don't need. Cool. We can see there's a water pipe that shouldn't be there because we end up bringing in water from the left. We have a petroleum pipe that ends here because I didn't do the build properly. Yep. Lubricant, exact same story. Acid, same story. Water pipes, because I brought in the water from the left. Oh, more power poles. So again, I'll just grab some power poles and we'll just dump these along the top to make sure everything's powered. I don't mind 3,000 power poles when I only needed 2. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. So that should upgrade all of those. Now, the system is automatically putting in the beacons, and it's going to request in, if I hover my mouse over one of these, speed module 3s. I don't have speed module 3s, in case you couldn't tell. So, what we were going to do is we're going to put in an upgrade planner. That is really annoying that I have that in there twice. Can we choose something else? We don't have a number 1. Let's put a number 1 there. Okay, so I'm going to put down an upgrade planner. I'm going to open my upgrade planner. I'm going to customize it. So what I want to do is I want to change out any speed module 3, because I don't have any of them, to speed module 2s. Okay, because those at least I automated up here and have been slowly, ever so slowly, ticking over, slowly making speed modules, which we were using in our Covrex process. Okay, at the same time, I have already put productivity module 1s in all these builds. I'd really like productivity module 2s. So I want to set any productivity module 1s to upgraded to prod 2s. And we're going to test this out on this guy. So if I, if I swipe that over there, we can see the upgrade planet is having 4 productivity module 1s be upgraded to 4 productivity module 2s. So we're going to do that. At the same time, I set this to only run if nuclear fuel was greater than 20. I meant to say less than 20 because there's a bit of nuclear fuel in there. But now we know you're good for like the next week. We're going to put down a few of them. Just extend the build whilst we can. And leave that to run. Okay, lo and behold, whilst we weren't watching, the bots did come and upgrade this and have put in some productivity module 2s, which again is going to change that from a overall bonus of what, 12% to an overall bonus of 24%. At the same time, I want to cut you guys and you guys and you guys because this is obviously processing uranium quicker than I can have the train bring it in. So I want to cut off the end of this build and I want to recycle at least a few of these guys and cut down on my overall power usage. At the same time, free up those beacons where they can go up to our oil build. Speaking of that, can I... That's way neater to look at. Yeah. Okay, dump that. Dump the dull rocks. Wander up here, have the beacons disappear. Of course you don't have power. Perfect example. Okay, so I want to take our... you don't have power either. Alright, so I want to take our upgrade planet. First thing I want to upgrade, always the first thing you want to upgrade, is you want to upgrade your oil. Okay, this is where oil originally turns into heavy, petroleum, and light. So that's the first thing I want to do. I want to upgrade that section, which is going to have the bots come down, put in the productivity module 2s, if they're in the network, if the bots can access them. At the same time, put in speed module 2s in the beacons, rather than the speed module 3s that I don't have. You're running your... That's a mess. We're going to delete all the petroleum out of that pipe. All the petroleum out of that pipe. And put that back together. And voila, you magically work again. Okay. So that's going to run. You are filling up with lubricant. This pipe got changed slightly. Yep, fixed. Okay, cool. So, that's done, that's done, that's done. Please stop that. Wall of lasers. Come help. Our evolution is up to 0.87. 0.9 is when things are going to start getting really bad. We're going to have behemoth bite us, which is going to be a... Huh? Oh, you guys are flying across here. That's a silly mistake. Yep, okay. Alright. With that done, we can already see our plastic has been thoroughly improved. So I'm going to upgrade all of those to red belt. Because I can. Which also means I'm going to... Hang on. Do this from map view. We're going to upgrade everything in our path to red belt. That to red belt. Everything up to there to red belt. And everything up to our first couple of splitters to red belt, because they're coming off for red circuits. Red circuits will get there in a second. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I want to stop and I want to talk about this combination. So this is making our assembly machine 3s. I like assembly machine 3s. Assembly machine 3s are awesome. They're awesome for two reasons. One, they go from a crafting speed of 0.75 up to a crafting speed of... Please don't rearrange my inventory. There we go. 1.25. The other thing that makes them awesome is they take 4 modules compared to the Assembly Machine 2, which took 2 modules, compared to the Assembly Machine 1, which takes no modules. So, what I want to do is I want to upgrade this machine. This machine is what's slowing down our assembly machine 3s because, as you can see, they need 4 speed modules. I wanted those speed modules. Thanks, game. Thanks, game. So these guys require 4 speed module through 4 speed module 1s. A speed module 1 takes 15 seconds to craft. So really, really long time. Now that we've upgraded plastic, now we've upgraded oil, which has led to upgrading plastic, which has led to more plastic on the belt, which is leading to hopefully red circuits running a bit better. I want to make sure what this means. This guy's going to have more red circuits, which means he's going to run more often, which means I want to throw speed modules in him to make him run even faster. Because a single speed module takes 15 seconds to craft at a crafting speed of, we'll call it 1 point, hang on, pull those out. We'll call it a crafting speed of 1 for easy maths. It's actually 1.25, but we'll call it a crafting speed of 1. Means this machine is only getting its 4 modules every minute, which means I only get one of these machines out every minute, which is a little bit slow. If I put all my resources in there, that'd be awesome. But if I put those in there, it now has a crafting speed of 2.25, which means I get a new one of these every like 30 seconds, which is what I'm really looking for. I'd really want them faster because we're going to do some small upgrades. In fact, we're going to come over here to our lovely, handy-dandy, brand new red circuit build that now has plastic in it. And I'm going to take an upgrade planner. I'm going to sit it on the edge, where hopefully we can upgrade 35 machines on that side and 35 machines on that side, which is just going to take a moment for the bots to fly all the assembly machines over. But once they get here, we're going to go from a crafting speed of 0.525 before the machine got replaced to a crafting speed of 8.75. But if I take my prod mods and I put it in the machine, it goes down to a crafting speed of 0.5. So it's a little bit slower, but also we go from a productivity of 8% on the right-hand side to 16%. So I'm getting bonus materials out at the cost of more power. If you remember, we just put in nuclear power. We have lots of power to spare. So I want to grab my productivity modules and I want to run through this build and I want to upgrade every single machine. We ran out of prod once. Purple science, purple science, purple science. That's the box I want. Yoink. I want to upgrade every single machine to have the maximum amount of productivity, which will make every single machine run a little bit slower. But that's... Oh, those machines are not upgraded yet. Those machines are also not upgraded yet. Those are. Make every machine run a little bit slower, which is perfectly fine because I'm going to get extra materials out of it. And that's what I want. I want extra red circuits. And we can always mitigate that by running all the way back through the build a second time. Over the pipes. Moving you out of the way by a tile. Give you a power pole. And go to... none of those blueprints. That blueprint. Line you up and go 1, 2. There's a power pole in the way. And extend the build out because we can now feed the build at full speed. Because we've got our plastic problem sorted, we can make the build in theory longer. If we do bring up this, we can see that JD's tileable advanced circuit supports 70 total assemblers before exhausting the green chip and plastic lines. Only consumes a half a belt of copper. Output 7.5 red circuits per second. Most bases require 2 of these builds side by side as they're quite long to consume a red belt of material. So, going back to this, we can see this is yellow belt, okay? We can see that it requires 70 total assemblers, okay, on yellow belt. So if we bring up a deconstruction planner, because that's a really quick way to count things, and I come to here, we can see 53 plus 17 is 70 at an assembly machine 2 speed of 0.75. Because the machines have been slowed down by the productivity modules, and they're only running at 0.5 speed, I should be okay with the yellow belt of material all the way through. I should be okay. I have no actual guarantees. I haven't pre-done the maths or anything. I actually have no idea. but I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it, and if the material doesn't get to the end of the belt, we can always start upgrading belts, okay? Next thing I want to do is we, again, go back to this blueprint. We can see that it does say in the second paragraph, most bases require 2 of these builds side by side as they're quite long to consume a red belt of material. We can see that even though we don't have research running, okay, we're splitting the belt here, we're running half to the right into the bus, and it's going into blue circuits. It's going into electric furnaces, which make, well, which contribute towards purple science. It's going into productivity modules, which contribute towards purple science. It's going into logistics robots, which aren't going to use that many. It's also, well, it's going to blue circuits, which then come back and go into yellow science. Red circuits are also coming down here. They're going to blue science, and they're also going into our workshop, which the belt just comes in here and disappears. It's being used by many, many things. One of them being nuclear reactors, which need 500 of the damn things per nuclear reactor. At the same time, it's going to beacons, which we're out of beacons, but again, we need 20 advanced circuits. Beacons are going down here and going into our oil build currently, which is still waiting on 17 productivity, 16 speed module 3s. Oh, I just realized you guys have got prod 3s in you. Okay, so we're gonna change productivity 3 to productivity module 1, and I'm gonna swipe you 2. That's 6. That's the other 3. Ha, found them all. Okay, so I need more red circuits. That's what I'm saying. That's the key takeaway part. I need more red circuits. I also want, of course, the second I show up to steal some speed modules, there's none in here. You. Oh, that's some speed modules. We want to upgrade you to go a little bit faster. Like, a lot faster. Yeah, that's some serious speed modules. Obviously, you can have some speed modules. Obviously, I'd like that assembler to go faster as well. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to put down another... Ooh. Jerry just had an idea. If I take this and I just jam it straight in that machine, you're going to pump out a few of them fairly quickly. If I take more of them... Oh, there we go. Alright, if I speed up both those, hang on. Copy, paste there so we can up the requests. 200's a bit much. Let's just go with 20. And 20. And 20. Okay, back to you guys. If I dump a whole bunch of speed modules in that one, and I put the speed modules in the output slot of that one, it'll stop crafting eventually. And meanwhile, it'll throw speed modules in this machine fairly quickly. So it just gives me a bit more of a buffer so I can run away and I can go do things like fill this build with productivity modules. But you're good to go, and grab an upgrade planner and do that bottom little bit and that bottom little bit, and I'm guessing by the lack of plastic and green circuits that we've pushed the build too far. So now that we know we've pushed the build too far, we have a simple solution. We're going to upgrade that bit of belt, and that bit of belt, and that bit of belt, and that bit of belt, that bit of belt, that bit of belt. I'm going to upgrade this bit of belt. I added 2 builds on the end, which means I am we're going to assume I'm 2 builds too many for a yellow belt. So I'm going to upgrade all the belt for the first 2 builds of our red circuits. I also am going to have to do the copper plate, because there's a chance I'd be short there as well. 1 build, 2 build, and then you have to get upgraded all the way back to the bus. It means green circuits from... Hang on, we'll do this from map view. Green circuits from there to... I don't know. Here? Here seems like a reasonable amount. All needs to go red as well. Plastic is already red already. So with all that out of the way, we're going to go out to the edge of the bus, and I'm going to make another red circuit build. Because, as I said, the formula says that generally you need 2, and we might as well. Well, we're short, so we're going to build a second build. So it says that I can build 5 in a row, being 70 machines total. Sure, we'll start here, and we'll hook up power, and then, alright, let's get the basics done. Let's get, is that green circuits? I think that's 1 tile too low. It is. Okay, that's green circuits, which would go into there, which we then put one of them on. Output ready right, copy, paste, jam that on the end. Your copper cable, or copper rather. So again, we want 1, 2, 3, 4. Paste those on there, drag the belt out. You're going to go there. And underground that from there to there, and then we want plastic, which is in this plane. Yep, at least I lined one up. So it's easiest for me if I just build a straight belt all the way through, line things up. That's not lined up. You need a splitter. There to there, to there, to there, and tag that in like that. That's red circuits out, that's plastic in. So, like I said, it's easiest for me if I just lay a straight belt in first, and then we just run with the undergrounds to get the undergrounds placed in, okay? Just makes my life so much easier when we can just run with the undergrounds. Green circuits, done. Okay, undergrounds are placed in. You need a underground 2, which is actually there. And there. Okay. So that's our new red circuit build, at least started. It has all the core materials in there. Everything's lined up. We just need to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Seems like a reasonable amount. We do know if we upgrade everything to red belt, we can run twice the length because red belt moves twice the material. So all I need to do is I just need to find my rover ports, put a rover port here, and another rover port here, and copy the 2, and obviously I need another rover port here. Really? Is that it? So that should be 70 machines on one side. Yep, and then 70 machines on the other side. I just need the whole lot to go red belt, or actually, technically I need half the belt, half it to go red belt. So 35 machines about here back needs to be red belt. Does have the catch if everything from there back also needs to be red belt, which also implies everything from here back to there has to be red belt, and everything from here back to where here has to be red belt, and that has to be red belt. All of that has to be red belt. That could be yellow belt from there on because we're splitting one red belt in half, therefore 2 yellow belts, and we're good to go. So good luck, bots. Have fun. That's going to take you just a minute to get built. All those lasers can go. Yep. Okay, so bots have a project. At the same time, we now have a belt of red circuits that I need to tag into. Obviously, probably beneficial if I tagged it into the existing belt, so we could have them go in both, directions. I could have one belt of red circuits go you know, everywhere rather than having multiple belts going in multiple different locations. So I need to get that belt hooked up, which means, obviously, if we look at our bus, it means that, you know, this is the next section where I'm allowed to run belts through the bus. So we're going to run this way, and we're going to play the Great Underground game. So you go there, you go there, you go there, you go there, you go up instead, you go down, down, down. That's a down belt, that's a down, whoop, that's one tile short, that's a down belt, that's a down belt, more down belts, more down belts, that's a down belt. Yep. That's going to be awkward. That's going to be more awkward. We'll just run this belt in first. So red circuits can start to flow. I know, bots. You'll catch up eventually. Actually, that has a fairly easy solution. We'll run the batteries one tile lower. Remove all of that. And whoop, run that belt across to there. And this gets us to pretty much where we need to be. So, copper, you need to be out of my way. The red circuits can come in here. We're going to tie you over a tile. And I'm going to patch that in there. So, eventually, when some red circuits wander their way over here, we should have a much healthier bus. A much healthier bus to... You forgot a power pole. Robots, you forgot a power pole. Till that power pole goes in, all this is unpowered. Hey! Robot port recharging. Which means... Hang on, 3, 2, 1, pop. Oh, come on. Don't make a liar. There we go. So now the robots know about everything down here to build. And they have still a lot more to do. Yes, okay. So red circuits are running. As we can see, it looks like we've filled up this at this point, which definitely means we have more red circuits coming down into here, which should keep this running a whole lot better. And we can see that materials are flying off left, right, and center. Plastic. I would really like to just dump plastic straight into some of these guys, so I don't have to see it anymore. This is running, this is running. We're running all the way. Oh, you guys don't have problems. Let me help. Cool. Nope, I ran too short. Okay, at the same time, that's a robot network with 500 construction bots in it. That's a robot network with 500 construction bots in it. And neither of them are connected to this robot network with 700 construction robots. If I put a roboport here, all like magic, all the roboport networks join together. Where are my problems? On their way. Okay. All the networks join together and we now have 1,200 construction robots. I have no idea how they got segregated. Maybe I was doing something here that ruined it. Oh, that's right. We deconstructed those. So they go away. Actually, in fact, all of that goes away. All of that goes away. Everything between there and there goes away. That goes away. That goes away. That goes away. They go away. They go away. They go away. Curvex is... That one's running. That's not running. That's not running. But it is definitely kicking the system into high gear. Our recycling is probably not working because we overbuilt fuel cells, but that's okay. They will eventually kick into work. It looks like, yeah, so we just about emptied our storage when the next train showed up. So this is all the uranium processing we actually need. They can go away as well. Power still works to everything there. This build is partially done. It's missing a whole lot of red belt. In fact, the whole base is missing a whole lot of red belt. And at the same time, it's saying that I do not need any productivity modules or speed modules, which means that this section is done. This section has petroleum, but it can't process it fast enough. So we're going to grab that upgrade planner and put it on there. And did I find that module? There's that module. Okay, so that's done, that's done, that's done. And we'll go look at petroleum real quick. We have petrol. You guys are all running. You need to have the extra speed from the beacons. We have one full belt already and about a half belt. So with a couple more speed modules put in, we should get up to 2 full belts of plastic. But with all that said, this is where I'm going to end today's episode. So today's episode was all about upgrading and planning an upgrade, and nope, we're still following power. Planning an upgrade, upgrading itself, getting a lot more red circuits coming to the base, like a lot more. When this system kicks in, which should solve our red circuit problem, I won't say forever, because I've learnt in Factorio, nothing solves anything forever. It's just kick the can down the hill a little bit further, and it's going to become a problem eventually if you keep building the way you're building. So we have upgraded our red circuits. At the same time, I'd really like to, and it's only if this machine can ever catch up and we can ever have enough in here. Like, I'd love to upgrade gears to the next level of assembler. Green circuits as well, especially. All these early intermediates use a lot of early materials. If you can upgrade them to the next tier of assembler, get in some extra productivity modules, it can make a massive difference to your base. But the other thing we have is now we have a lot more red circuits coming into the base. It means I can turn research back on, which means we're going to do the rocket control unit, which is the last component that we haven't unlocked science-wise to get the rocket silo. Which means we're in episode 26, which means by episode 30, okay, by episode 30, I want to have a rocket silo not only built, but we want to be launching the rocket silo. Rocket from the rocket silo. So by episode 30, I want to have the rocket done. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that we're going to have like Spidertron and atomic bombs and artillery and all that sort of stuff done as well. They might happen after the fact, but by episode 30, I want to have the rocket launched, okay? So that means in 3 short episodes, 7, 8, 9, 40. Okay, 4 episodes. 4 episodes time, yeah, we've definitely got 2 full belts of red circuits. 4 episodes time, I want to have the rocket up, launched, and dealt with, basically. So that's the plan. That's our mission. I just realized that you guys could probably do with some red belt on the coal line. If I read it back to there, it should be fine. Yeah, we don't have coal being brought in by a train, which technically means I have a finite amount of coal. I also have a finite amount before the pollution gets too epic that we start getting behemoth biters, which are going to be a whole different problem we need to deal with. But with all that said, this is where I'm going to end today's episode. I'm going to thank you guys for watching, as always. As always, have any thoughts, have anything that I'm missing and I should have covered already and I haven't, by all means, jump on my Discord, leave your thoughts, leave your comments there. Lastly, I do want to mention that, yeah, if you like the video, you found it helpful, you found the series helpful, by all means, click the subscribe button. I would very, very much appreciate it. When this series is done, we're going to go back to my Sub-X Redux series, which I am going to have an introductory video coming out very, very soon, sort of explaining how the series came into being, because it was a series started before 1.0, and it got put on a hiatus when 1.0 came around, and we're going to go back to it, because it's all about a celebration about you, the subscriber. But with all that said, like I said, this is where I'm ending today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you're enjoying. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. All right, bye.